There we go. As long as we remember to take it slow. Should be obvious for a follower of Che, but we just gotta chill. Take it easy all the time here. This is a very interesting floor though. Has the giant Zot entrance vault, I guess, star-shaped one in the middle there, but then it also has all of these little substructures. Which I guess, yeah, Pandemonium and Hell Gates are to be expected. Okie dokie. Into the phase of the game where at least I'm able to rely on Tab a bit more, so we have, in the end, have come out of this with a bit of a hybrid character here, which is what I was hoping for. It's kind of hard not to, I guess, when you go with Che. But okie dokie. Yeah, there's that AoE where our evasion's really not helping out. Second, we see a fire giant come through here. Same with the gold dragon, actually. I should be a wee bit more cautious of that. Oh, maybe not. Maybe the gold dragon did not notice us? Or at least got distracted by something on the way. I mean, I'll take it. I'd much rather heal up to full real quick before we poke our head in. And that is much better. As long as we can just duke it out like this and we don't get too many fire breaths from the golden dragons, no problem whatsoever. Let's check it out. Couple stabs or staves, I guess. And summon force, summon, corpse rot. Dang it. No ice spells still. One day, I'll have the opportunity to try out Absolute Zero. Still never had the chance to cast that spell. But let's test these wands, or these staves, real quick, even though I probably won't be taking any of them. Even a Staff of Ice, which is kind of ideal for us. Don't think I'd be too tempted to take. Pretty happy with choosing either our sword options or using our spells. Okie dokie, and that is now most of Depths 5. Holy cow. Guess I shouldn't say that too soon. I've eaten those words before, but looks to be pretty close besides these ruined doors, which we are not going to touch. Let's make sure I don't accidentally open those either. But okie dokie, there it is. We're up to ready to enter Zot. All that's missing is that third rune of ours. So I guess that's going to be next on the menu here. Head on up to... Here's decision time as well. Decide where we want to go. I'm tempted to do slime. It's a nice quick one too, because we're not clearing out the floors and you're just diving down into the bottom. Let's do it. We have a few decent sources of corrosion resistance. In fact, I'm going to find our cloak, because we want to make sure to pick up this old Cloak of Preservation on our way. All of our ring slots are going towards pretty useful things right now, so I'd much rather use up our next slot for our corrosion resistance. Plus, again, never mind switching back to a fancy dig like this. Love the matching cloak and sword combo. The only way to go about things. And with that, let's go Slime Pit 0. Oh, was confused there for a second, but it was just the game pausing to let us know that we lost a little bit of piety in our travel time. Perfect, okay. Before we head down here, I might drop some stuff just so we're not doing too much inventory management over the near future. Enchant weapon scrolls can definitely go for now. Doing even 2 slots, that's great. Let's check it out. Okay, I'm going to Ozokubus. It's a little loud, but I think I'm going to make noise here and just clear whatever comes our way. Because there's a stairway right there, which is super convenient for us. As long as earshot is cleared, Beauty. Love to see it. Okay, don't step there with your tap attack, you dumb character. There we go. And there's another downstairs. I'm gonna quickly exclude this so I don't accidentally take that one up in the future. And we'll keep diving. Yes, come this way. Notice me, slime. Slimes make so much noise when you hit them. I was slurping and slopping all over the place. Okay. Wow. This is already a crazy exploration just to find one set of stairs. Oh, it's a mostly empty floor at the very least. Where are all the stairs? I'm so scared. I don't know what to expect anymore. Definitely a slightly unusual slime in my books. Wait, we've done it. Okay. Exit out that stairwell. We're not taking it. And let's keep it going. We're down to slime pits 4. Okay. Come this way. Perfect. It's nice when you're only fighting one of those monsters that has the opportunity to freeze you like that. A little bit less scary than usual. And then... crap. This is exactly what we're trying to avoid in our whole trip here. Any kind of malmutation is a pain in the butt. Let's bring up some body blockers. Come on, I expected you all to body block better than that, you sons of guns. But there we go. Way to go, ice beasts. You're the real MVPs for sure, don't get me wrong. Okay, let's go upstairs, I guess, so we're not trying to rest while the walls are just constantly and consistently burning our ice beasts to a crisp. Doesn't look like you have any mutation potions in your inventory. I do not. We have 3 that we found that I did have to leave on an earlier floor just because we were a little heavy on the inventory department. It's definitely a good idea to carry it around with us, or carry them around with us as we go into slime here. But also hope. Do you know what? Can I switch to my autumn katana? Nice. So we'll still stay confused for now, but they won't be able to confuse us again. We run into more golden eyes. Where are our downstairs? There we go. Yeah, might be a nice idea. Almost definitely is a good idea to carry them on us, but I feel pretty comfortable in making our way through here for now and running out if we need it. Laziness is common, probably one of the most common causes of death in any roguelike. And yet, here we are. Making the same mistakes once more. I am happy with the switch to the Vorpal Katana, I think, here. It will be nice not having to worry about random golden eyes kind of popping out of the woodwork at us. Oh, hello, Azure Jelly. You gonna notice me here? Perfect. Hey, speak of the devils. Look at all y'all. And isn't it embarrassing that they're just gonna keep trying to confuse us even though it's completely impossible? Love it. Okay, now let's be a little bit careful not to draw the royal jelly until we are ready and willing. Don't form... Okay, I was very much afraid that they'd be forming a larger slime creature there. But fortunately managed to split instead. Brought the ice beast in just in case we needed some meat shields to cover our retreat. But it looks like we'll be okay. For now, at the very least. And... normally I do like to clear around, so you know, I think I will follow my usual routines, at least get a little bit more of the a semicircle cleared out here, just to, you know, make sure we have some leeway in our fight. We're not going to retreat into more enemies right off the bat here. Crap. And things are scary already. So, rip out and whip out the big guns. Refrigerate the area, regardless of how much noise we're causing, just because I wanted to clear out those slimes. Get back to my stairs to rest. Perfect. Acid blob is nearby, of course. Of course, should have brought in some body blockers there, even though I guess acid does penetrate through, so maybe not quite as relevant as it otherwise would be, I should say. Now, I feel like we're making too much noise. Oh yeah, we're drawing out from the vault, which I don't like. Just stepping back, as long as we can afford it and won't be taking too much damage in our retreat steps. I would like to put a little bit of distance between me and where the blob, the royal jelly herself, might be coming out to play. Perfect. Now run, run, run. Perfect. And just rinse and repeat, playing it nice and safe. Ooh, royal jelly moved out of view. Where are you at? Oh, I just saw it. I saw it, yeah. Okay, let's put an exclusion there. And okay. First things first, I'm going to check these stairs. We explored most of this floor, so I don't actually feel horrible about retreating up this nearby stairway, this unexplored one here, if need be. But probably just able to start fighting here as well. Immune to acid, resistant to poison. Perfect. None of that's a problem in my books. So let us... I'm trying to think of how to start this off. I think I want to pop out a few jellies, and then I might even do a bit of an immolate trick here. Actually, right. Here's what we're going to do. Phantom Mirror's always the solution. Get that jelly busy. Then let's also bring our throwing nets. Try and net the royal jelly. Perfect. That gives us some turns to step away here safely. And now, maybe not even. Maybe we won't do the immolate trick. We have good AoE. Let's just start blowing out, hey? Or at least getting ready to. Did my jelly die, or is it just out of view? I think it's just out of view. So, let's see how Nozokubu's does, shall we? Does alright damage all around here. I do have to make sure that if I'm retreating up these stairs, I'm doing so early enough to not run into extreme danger on the other end. But oh man, it's getting so close to successful here. Don't want to get too cocky. Let's Condenser Vein. That will give me a wee bit of confidence here, because that mixed with my refrigeration should just absolutely slap. And in fact, looks like it does just that. Love to see it. Couple more refrigerations. We're still not in too scary of a situation. In fact, I'm happy to use up the last of my mana here and hack and slash those last couple. Oh, me oh my. Okay. Don't officially have the third rune yet, but are through the hard part at the very least. Clear up all that nonsense. I should head in here. Hopefully they're not eating all the good stuff. Get out of here. Dang old slimes. Okay. Rune Granite Ring. There is the slimy rune in all of its glory. We don't need amnesia scrolls. Ooh, I do kind of want magic mapping. So let's quickly find out what the heck this ring does. I was pretty sure it was going to be garbage anyway. Perfect. Pick up the scroll of magic mapping instead. Longblade manual, unfortunately. Don't need at this point in the game. Might have come in handy at some point. 2 scrolls of blinking. You made killing the royal jelly look easy. Thanks, Railbear. Definitely have a decent amount of experience fighting the royal jelly. Between this and vaults, I've gotten a decent amount of experience just because they're my favorite third rune to go for, probably. Abyss is a little too chaotic and hit or miss for me. But there we go. 2 scrolls of blinking is a huge boon. Definitely something that I'm in desperate need of. Amulet of Vitality wouldn't be horrible, but I don't think it's quite what we're looking for today. Ooh, and this is an artifact ring, so let's not just completely ignore that, shall we? Let us check this bad boy out. Hope we don't have a bad one. Perfect. I was really hoping it wouldn't have like any of the corrode or drain, contam mechanics, but we got lucky there. Standard brass ring, we will ignore. Summon Guardian Golem, not quite what we were looking for, but the Ring of the Mage. Wizardry, Will ++, Int +3. I think that replaces Otheose. Otheose is giving us our only resist poison, which I will have to keep in mind that we're potentially lacking that moving forward. But otherwise, I do think that is our best bet here. Let's drop Nuiche, pick up the Ring of the Mage, switch over to that, which frees us up in a couple of departments, because now we could change out our armor for something else. Maybe for something that gives us a resistance we're going to be in need of. Interesting. Well, I guess that's that. Slime done at the very least. We have our third rune down, which always love to see. Well, I guess I'm carrying around 2 RN rings. Don't really need to do that. And what else here? I guess nothing else. Let's make sure we go up the right stairways for each of these trips. Correct one still. Not that one. There we go. Perfect. And again, not you. You. And we've escaped. Okay. Officially through and through with slime. And so, all that's left is Zot. And I think we're just gonna head on that way. We could go around trying to gain a bit more experience. Could be useful to hop into vaults, maybe even crypt. But I might try out Zot and see how it goes. At least dip my toes in a little bit, you know? So let's do Zot 0, take us right up to the entrance without going in. That should be perfect. Oh, that's all good, Babs. And, okay, drop the Ring of Conjuration, the Staff of Conjuration, because we probably don't need to hold on to that. And, okay, let's insert our 3 runes into the lock here, gain access to the fantastical Realm of Zot. Okay. Black Draconian Knight. Oh, we went down and then we immediately got teleported. Okay. I stumbled into a teleport trap. I don't think so. I didn't do anything, game. Dare you put that on me. But okay, bring in my ice beast, I guess. Helps with the Moth of Wrath for sure. I should clear this way at the very least, though. Slowly but surely clear my way to that entrance because it is the only way out or in. I generally like to do depths 1 to 5 in Vestibule of Hell before vaults 5. Yeah, no, for whatever reason, I'm a weirdo in that department. I've never found vaults to be quite as tricky as, yeah, most people I think take a very similar approach to you, Railbird, but let's start nuking a little bit, shall we? But for whatever reason, yeah, I just feel pretty comfortable with vaults. I mean, it wouldn't seem like it based on my experiences on camera here, because when we lost, who was that? That was our first Hill Orc, I guess. First Elder Hofi was lost in the vaults in a very stupid way. So I definitely don't show it very well on stream, but in general, vaults are just my safe space for whatever reason. I think part of it is just the layout. I really like the increased chances of getting the like structured layout where it has all the buildings that kind of are self-contained little encounters a lot of time. So definitely does the trick for me. Right, we do have clarity, which I think we might not be able to be berserked against our will with clarity now that I think about it. So the Autumn Katana might be really nice in a lot of different ways. And actually, yeah, where are we getting our poison from, now that I think about it? Oh, it's our necklace. Perfect. Okay, we recently switched off of our poison ring, so I was a little bit confused there. But right, this actually works great with the ring of the mage here. The wills offset and stuff. Beautiful. That unintentionally worked out absolutely brilliantly for us, leaving us finally with our elect, which we've been very much missing out on for most of the run here. Okie dokie. Unfortunately, a lot of things are resistant to cold in the endgame. It was a rough thing. I guess that's almost the trade-off for Absolute Zero, because Absolute Zero is absolutely and completely unavoidable. Actually, speaking of resistant to cold, I'm using Ozokubu's refrigeration on a whole bunch of white draconians. Whoops. But yes, unfortunately, a lot of the enemies here are just resistant to ice in general. So, more what I was talking to was the trade-off of Absolute Zero, because Absolute Zero is unresistible and will hit absolutely anything. But up until that point, you're kind of constantly struggling with trying to work your way around the resistances of all the enemies that we come across. Okie dokie. I'm being a little aggressive and dangerous with my Ozokubus there for sure. But here's a bit more of a situation where we want to be throwing it out when we're nice and close to the stairs. Just a simple retreat away. And all things considered, not our worst egress into Zot here. And I'm happy to fight moths of wraths. Oh my gosh. Get over here. Get over here, you moth. Here we go. Happy to fight them one-on-one without their ability to turn us enraged. We truly have no problems whatsoever. Even though I was just trash-talking the idea of using Ozokubus so dangerously and without thinking. There I go again, but now we've cleared out enough of the floor that it's okay, right? I'm very good at justifying stuff to myself, so even if it's not okay, I can probably convince myself that it's a great plan. Oh crap. Should not have let you enrage. That's really bad. It's really bad. So I could try and copy you. I am worried that I die in a turn on really bad rolls, I guess. Scroll of Fear will not do it for sure. Otherwise, let's take a look through the options here. In our usual holding pattern of panic mode until we manage to take care of it by the skin of our teeth, and then we just slowly decline into a false sense of security until here we are again, sheer panic. Blinking away is the safest way, but we could just step from time, like if we wanted to just get this sucker away from us. In fact, let's take a better look at some of our god abilities. I feel like I don't give them enough space. Temporal Distortion, what do you do? Causes monsters to skip forward in time relative to you. I mean, how far forward? Far enough that you're no longer enraged, maybe? Okay. Kind of? I don't know what happened there. Wake up next to a brand new moth? That was not the moth we were fighting before, I don't think. Huh. I'll take it. Works out for me, I guess. Don't know where the gold dragon went, which does frighten me just a wee bit, but they'll show up, I'm sure. There we go. And much better this time around. As long as they're not enraged, I have no problem just duking out straight to the face. Perfect. Zot 1 cleared. And here we go. Foothold down. Let's do our best, shall we? That's just gonna be a big old refrigeration. Crap. That's fine. I think we can take out this party quickly enough to make it back to the stairs. Just keep burning through. Perfect. And I do actually want to pop back up these stairs because we don't have quite enough magic mapping to be throwing them out on every Zot floor, which I largely like to do by this point in the game. You usually have at least 5 sitting around. But because that's not an option, we will want to make sure to explore all of our stairs here just to have clear routes of escape in mind at all points in time. This one's kind of central. Yeah, let's go with this one first. We'll start off here. Ooh, I don't like you whatsoever. Please don't drain all my mana. Perfect. I actually do kind of like most of the Draconians becoming enraged because they're not quite as scary strong. Oh crap. Do not want the Death Cob enraged. I don't know if it can actually now that I think about it because it's dead. Undead things have issues raging without blood flow and all that. But enraging any of the monsters, like even liches, kind of fit in the same category, where when they're enraged, they're less scary because that way they're just attacking and they don't need to, or they're not able to use some of their scarier spell options as an alternative, but okay, dokie. Bunch of enraged buddies here. This is where it's a bit scarier because between one attacking us and a polearm buddy, could deal a bit more damage, but we'll just keep refrigerating the whole crew here, and all worked out just fine, I guess. No problem. Good mapping strategy to explore each stairs first. It helps that I've had many people giving me helpful reminders along the way. It's a weird thing what has remained consistent and what has changed between when I play on my own versus when I play on stream here. Because there aren't a whole lot of differences for the most part, but there are a lot of subtle ones with stuff like that, where I'm paying my attention and that kind of thing. I feel like I'm a little more tedious in my solo play, while also in some regards being a lot stupider, because by the same token, if I have no pressure to keep a character alive, might as well just roll that 50-50 chance. Might die, but I might win. So it's always kind of fun to do that. A little bit different. But okay, first Orb of Fire, which is nice skill check. Nice opportunity to see how we're doing here. They are resistant to cold, which sucks. At least they're not immune to it though, and that's something. So we could Ozukubu a bit. Would deal some damage. I have a lot of Wand of Acid charges, so we can at least reduce its AC down. The last thing I want to consider are kind of like, yeah, Boxes of Beasts that we could bring in. Really any of these evocables. Phantom Mirror is a little less useful because the Orbs of Fire can't do a whole lot to each other. You know what, let's try it. Hopefully that distracts everyone for long enough here. Then I'm going to throw out, yes, as long as my Orb of Fire doesn't become aggressive. Oh. What? Why did it already disappear? Why you suck so much? Maybe I dealt a lot of damage to it, more than I expected. In which case, I'm sorry, friendly Orb of Fire. Okay, not dealing a whole lot of damage to the non-friendly Orb of Fire here. Not grand. I think Scroll of Summoning. Wow. Almost dead, which is great. It's a new change of plans. Luckily, we got all these blinking scrolls a bit ago. Immediately taking advantage of that, running to these stairs. Okay, let's take a deep breath for our good fortune here. That didn't immediately destroy us. I'm kind of curious what happened. It seemed like the Orb of Fire got double energy and hit us. with like a fireball, 2 fireballs. Does it take longer to read the Scroll of Summoning than I thought? Yeah, Railbird asking about RF right now. That's one thing I did not prep in advance here. I wasn't truly expecting to run into Orbs of Fire quite yet, which is bad planning because you can always run into them on any level of Zot. It is important to keep in mind, even though they're most commonly found in the last. I think we just have 1 pip of RF. Let's take a peek. No, we have no pips of RF. So yes, that's why we almost immediately just got deleted out of this very plane of existence. So we have a couple of basic ones on us, or basic sources, but do we have any double or triple? That's a triple RF on this spear, but don't know how useful that will be to lug around, and drain is a pain in the butt. So, Scarf of Resistance that we threw behind. There we go. That's what I thought that we still had on, but we switched it out for the Cloak of Preservation, you big old dummy. Oh, silly me. So, here's what I'm going to do. Let's drop a couple of things now before we make this trip. Wands of Enslavement, Wands of Disintegration I'm never going to use. I don't know why I'm carrying those around still. And Wands of Flame we don't need either. Now let's re-look this up and let's go around and grab some stuff. I'm going to grab my Scarf of Resistance back, put that on before I forget about it again. And we're also going to take a peek at potentially any other. I mean, we can get up to 2 pips of RF with that and one of our rings here, which isn't too bad on its own. But let's grab that. Also, anything else here while I'm standing around? I guess I might as well. Could have get an R Poison RF ring. Doesn't really matter. Bunch of axes, artifact axes that we do not care about whatsoever. Okay, no, we are all good. But no, thank you, Railbird, for the quick reminder there. It's one thing I forgot to go over in my little mental checklist. Just too excited. See the finish line in sight and I'm jumping at it, not stopping to think about what we're dealing with in the meantime here. Oh, do you know what? I didn't even see the scale mail before. Excellent, I left that on the floor. Well, solution to that, let's run out now with our RF in hand. We'll also use one of these identify scrolls here to figure out what the heck this armor is. Ooh. Would you look at that? +6 scale mail with RF and with plus will on it? Don't mind if I do. It will affect many of our abilities too much either. Let's check that out. There we go. Okay. So, turns out in more ways than one, this ended up being quite the fruitful trip for us. Let's head back down Zot ways. And we need to see if we can deal with an Orb of Fire. We're probably going to run into quite a few more on the final floor of Zot, so we should try our best. Oops, I accidentally hit my mute key and stopped me in my tracks, but okay. Ah, Orbs of Fire. The Frail is still from before, but I kind of want to let 1 or 2 more mutations hit us, bad mutations, before I waste any of my potions there. Okay. Immediately attract trouble directly to us. Frightening. Very, very frightening. I think I'm just gonna start slinging out my heaviest spells. This time, if the Storm Dragon gets within even 1 step of us, we take it upstairs instead of getting pushed off the stairs. Perfect. Didn't want to accidentally run into a scarier enemy after being shoved away from our only escape. There we go. Up to 2 pips. We could get a 3rd pip of RF. I guess what would we be giving up? Giving up some dex. Seemed as, I mean, nothing too bad, but 2 pips should be okay. And now, let's take a step back onto the stairs. Oh, maybe shouldn't have done that now that I think about it. Now we have no choices here. Let me think. Do I wish to start refrigerating? It didn't do amazing damage, but it was slowly chipping away here. I'm guessing we actually hit pretty hard. Maybe I should just attack with my Vorpal Katana, hey? Just see how it does. Acid seems best to me. That is true, especially if I am going to be swinging my sword at it. I do want to reduce the AC, if possible, as well. Let's take a peek here. Slam one of those down. Definitely a pretty solid hit. I'm going to swing once. Honestly, also a pretty solid hit. Well, we'll keep throwing the acid until we at least get the armor debuff is what I'm hoping for here. There we go. And starting to get a wee bit scary here, but perfect. Much better. So yeah, the mix of corrosion and just smacking in the face definitely chunks through without too much trouble, but if there's more than just a single orb of fire attacking us there, might have been struggling a wee bit more. Also got one more negative mutation here, strength -2 though. Not really a big deal for us. With Che by our side, our strength score is looking absolutely fantastic regardless. But okie dokie. With that, oh boy, let us resume our exploration of Zot 2. See what else we come across. I also thought we were on Zot 3 that we were exploring, so when I took the brief respite to go out and grab stuff, grab our RF and whatnot, I did route us to head right back to Zot 2, which, in hindsight, could have gone very poorly. Actually, oh, that probably doesn't even hurt you, right? Yeah, well, okay, just resistant to cold, so I guess not horrible. It's weirdly enough more immune to fire, which I find kind of strange. But let's do one more of those, and then, yeah, I should really kind of in manner of just a few floors of dungeon. We went from 7 acid charges to in the low 40s, so should definitely keep that in mind as a good solution for a lot of the problems that we run into in the late game here with resistances of all of our dangle enemies. Okie dokie. That main area aside, most of this floor is standard Zot 2, but as soon as we start heading back towards the east side of the map there where that giant cathedral structure is, gonna have to get a wee bit cautious again. Not too shabby. Lots of wrath on their own, no problem whatsoever. I guess also if they're just with an undead thing, all honky-dory. Just tab our way through most of this, even if it is a little bit dangerous in some of these fights. Perfect. Plus 1 cloak. Don't think so. We need our resistances here. There we go. Not too shabby. A little bit scary fighting a gold dragon and a constricting... What are they called now? Actually, all of a sudden I'm completely... Tentacles is somewhere in their title, isn't it? That's embarrassing. I immediately... Tentacled monstrosity. There we go. Brain was absolutely just grasping at the straws there for whatever reason. Oh boy, but there we go. Zot 2. Cleared and done. Jeez Louise. But it's a good thing to find our first Orb of Fire isolated like that. Allowed us to discover our lack of RF in a relatively safe environment. I mean, it almost killed us, but we survived, so relatively safe environment. 2 orbs of fire, we would have just been dead there for sure. But it also allowed us to figure out how we should deal with it, how best to deal with any future orbs of fire we run into. And I also, with this last magic mapping scroll, that gives me enough to map every level of Zot, so we'll end up doing that this time around, which is nice. Saves a bit of stress and worry at the very least. Okay, quickly kill the Moth of Wrath before it even gets close to the gold dragon, because we're not dealing with that crap again. There we go. I should probably, even with magic mapping, I should probably stick to my stair dipping, making sure that you're taking a peek in at each place just to see what awaits, but in fact, actually, no. I was about to say but and give reasons why not to do it, but we're right here. There's no reason not to. I like how that Zot 2 transfer to Zot 3 looks like the Mandelbrot set. Oh, it does kind of, actually. That's really funny. I don't know, most of the ones that I did, because one of my computational physics class, we got to fool around with Mandelbrot sets. I'm a little fuzzy on it, because it was a couple years ago. But I think, yeah, ours involved a lot more spirals than that. But I totally see what you're going for, especially with the lava edging there. It gives it a bit of that effect. That's really cool. Okay, so this one is a bit of an interesting release point. I actually wanted to zoom out here because the last time we saw a Zot floor that was kind of like this, we actually noticed that certain areas did not have access to each other. But that is not the case here, because we can see that, yeah, through down here we can connect to each other. So, I guess not this time around, but either way, still nice to get a little bit more of an idea what is in store in the surrounding wilds here. I think we can take this fight. Oh, the Tentacled Monstrosity being raged would not be great, but I think still achievable. Quicksilver Dragon would not have been achievable, so ooh, that worked out, thankfully, in the end there. Let's head back to the stairs to slowly heal just in case as well. And there we go. Nothing too scary now that we're not running into weird little vaults with orbs of fire. I was gonna put off reading that scroll of acquirement, but because I'm just so bad for that, for whatever reason, my brain is like, we don't need it right now, so maybe leave it, but we should take a peek, just in case it's something that we really need. Like if we examine Dark Venom, not quite. I guess anything with the poison end of the spectrum isn't quite as useful in this stage of the game. The +1 helmet of the sacrificial victim. Will minus is not great, but regen strength +9, kind of wacky. I mean, I don't need the gold, don't need the staff either, so I might as well, even if I'm not going to wear it. We'll pick it up. But where would that bring us for Will? That'd bring us back down to 2 pips. I don't think I'm okay with that. I think I need at least 3, unfortunately. Yeah, and equal AC would just give us some strength. And the regen. The regen isn't nothing for sure. That's kind of what I was hoping to switch to it for. But that's alright. We'll keep it in mind as a potential option, especially if we somehow manage to rack up some more will. Or even if we just take off or find a replacement for the necklace we're currently using. It is already detrimental to our willpower here. And yeah, much smoother floor this time around. No guarantee it will keep up that way, but hoping so. Would be real nice, wouldn't it, game? Even just as long as we're fighting just 1 or 2 enemies at a time, I am peachy as a clam here. And there we go with Zot 3. I'm guessing is all cleared. Oh, 1 more monster. I thought this tiny corner couldn't possibly hold another beastie, but there we go. Zot 3 cleared as well. Let's keep it rolling here. Dang old ghost moths. You were the bane of my existence back in Spider 4. That was a disastrous time, but we've since grown so much since then. Come such a long way. I guess, oh, I don't need to be carrying Theosay anymore. I'm carrying a bunch of crap in my inventory that I've never touched. Mostly talking about these rings here, of course. I guess it's fine, as long as we don't need it too bad. Let's magic map the area. See where our other upstairs are at the very least. A couple nearby, a couple on the opposite side of the map. That's all fine and dandy, I guess. What else here? There was something else that my brain just wanted to do, but it might have just been reading. That scroll and checking on my skills might have been the other one. Almost maxed out on our ice magic, because it's been slowly incrementing up this whole time in the background. Love to see that. Maybe should have put a limit on evocations, but I'll just leave it pumping. In fact, let's put dodging up. Should have maybe done some more training in dodging just to see how high we could get that. Again, it doesn't help a whole lot with a lot of the more AoE enemies, which Orbs of Fire are one of them, but it still can be quite handy for all the bolt spells that are being slung our way. Let's keep refrigerating the whole area though. Take out the packs of Draconian here. Usually that is one of the rare uses for poison in the late game, is the Draconian packs here in Zot. They're still one of the few enemies that are susceptible at this stage. What did I just pick up a split second ago? Enchant weapon scroll. That was the one. Drop that on the floor. No need to lug those bad boys around at this stage. Ooh, let's back up here for sure. Much rather just fight one of these buddies at a time. Perfect. Hopefully no ghost moths in our final vault. I don't like already running into a couple of those by this point. Ideally, none of that. Absolutely none of that nonsense. Let's enchant armor and pop it on to Kite Shield for fun. Why not? A lot of the kind of classical defense skills are no longer quite effective in the late game because AC really falls off as we start running into more and more of these enemies with less avoidable damage sources. But seem to be doing fine on our end of things, keeping up with all that nonsense.